Hello, everyone. Greetings. This is High Priestess Jamila. Hello, my beautiful lovelies and exclusives. Hello. This is actually my meditation time, and I've got a lot of things that I am focused on at the moment. A couple of new projects that I'm starting. And not only that, client work, I've got students starting, coming in, and I've got to get items drop shipped to them for their classes. I have spell work to do, and then also I have a reading scheduled. So I don't have a whole lot of time to talk on here. I have been working on myself because I've been dealing with situations involving people that I care about, involving my family, just in, my clients. Of course, I care about you guys, my family, the people that I love. And so, um, honestly, when you see me doing something, you see me doing it for a purpose. And I usually have a purpose behind something. That purpose kind of is being oppressed, but that's okay because I'm not being oppressed. Hello, Alex Jennings. Hello. So I was sitting here writing a community post, and after the third paragraph, I said, I might as well just go live. Okay. And pardon me for a second, guys, if you hear me making noise. I got to run outside and get a package real quick. So hopefully I don't lose any signal or anything like that. But I wanted to come and speak about obsessive compulsive disorder as well as obsessions. Okay. Hello, Diana. Hello. Hello, one of my favorite exclusives. Hello. All right. Sorry, y'all. That wind is good out there. I'm going to go outside and get some air later. Ooh. Okay. So there's actually a couple of things that I want to talk about, and I should have put it in the title also. Um, I think that it is pretty safe to say that we have a lot of obsessive people on YouTube. Okay. Now, I'm a bit of an obsessive person, but that was something that I worked on for years. And then I had to go through more obsessiveness because of good reason that I'm not going to get into. But these are things that are not being worked on, but they have actually been worked and done and just over with. Okay. Um, if you are, if you have an issue with somebody, and this issue happened 2 or 3 years ago, and you are still thinking of ways to talk about this issue or a person, it is pretty safe to say that you have OCD. Okay, you do. That's called obsessive compulsive disorder, especially if the person is not relevant to you or your life. Okay. There are some people that just like to obsess over the same thing. Obviously, this would be something that would hold you back in life. It wouldn't be anything that would add to your life. It would make life harder on you. So, if you are already an obsessive person, you want to be careful with that, especially if it's somebody that is irrelevant to your life. If you feel the need to constantly obsess over a person that has no relevancy in your life at all, because they don't. Okay, even some people that believe that people on here are competition or, you know, starting wars with people because, because of what they could do or might do. Um, that's called paranoia, actually. Um, you are still talking about somebody and you're angry at somebody 2 or 3 years later and you're trying to add things to it. You're hanging around people that want to add stuff to why you should be upset with this person. It has no parts of your life. And you have an obsession, an unhealthy obsession. Okay. Sorry, y'all. I got to get out. I have to get this stuff out of this box. I got some, I guess I haven't, I thought, damn it, y'all. I thought that this package had sorry, y'all, I just got a big thing of mason jars. I thought that it had my charcoal discs in it, but evidently that hasn't arrived yet. So interesting. Okay. Obviously, if you have an obsession with another person, that's your own fault. That is something that you have to get help for. And especially in the witchy community, this sadly masks itself as this person's doing work on me or they're throwing bad energy at me. And that person may not be thinking about you. They have things going on in their life and they're not thinking about you. Things become real because your mind can make it real sometimes. And I've seen a lot of people have a tendency to keep things going because let's keep it all the way a buck. Having beefs, starting beefs, creating beefs does nothing for anybody. In fact, it does nothing for me. So I actually got accused of creating beefs with people. Why I would do that? Because that would only hurt me. And it did hurt me because I'm going to keep it real with y'all. I have a lot on my plate. I have children. And this is one of the reasons why I was sitting here thinking, I don't really want to be friends with people that don't have children unless they are responsible, and understanding and extremely kind person. And yeah, because I think that, I mean, even if you have pets, which a lot of people, their pets are their children, which is understandable. Everybody isn't obsessive like this, but I think that if you are still, I mean, because sometimes I'll look at people and I'll say, my goodness, it has been 2 or 3 years. It has been 10 years. And not only are you still obsessing about it, but you're still talking about something that is 10 years old. Now, if you're somebody that did something to somebody and that's why you're obsessing, then the only thing that you can do is take your karma and say, hey, I was wrong. But if you are consistently keeping up stuff with a person after 2 years, I don't care if that person was your friend or not. I don't care how they shitted on you and you shitted on them. It's time to let it go. It's very childish and irresponsible. I was looking at something this morning where North Korea was deploying missiles into the into the into the ocean and doing all of these weird things. It's time to, especially if a person is irrelevant to your life. You don't have a sexual relationship with that person. You have no connection with that person. That is a sign that you are OCD. And here's another point that I wanted to make. it's okay to get some help for that. I would say, as a spiritualist, because there's always that thin line between mental illness and spirituality. Okay. I would say that if you have those kind of issues, to work on self first and get and seek professional help for that. Seek professional help first. Seek that help first and then get into the spiritual stuff. If you're going to get into the spiritual stuff, don't touch no curses. Don't even touch no love work. Don't be sitting up there trying to do black magic and you have obsessive compulsive disorder. Those two things don't mix. Baneful magic and mental illness does not mix, even if you have anxiety. Now, sometimes you do have to, when someone just comes out of pocket with you, just all of a sudden, and they're doing things that could potentially do harm to you, then you do have to do defensive magic, and maybe you may even have to do black magic. But if you are a person that is all over the place, you have OCD, you have paranoia, and you are getting into spirituality, I think that once you do seek the help of a spiritualist, they should be speaking to you about cleansing, number one, but then also feeding and balancing your chakras, number two. And they should also, number three, be speaking to you about retraining yourself, retraining your brain, and retraining how you deal with situations. Yeah, because sitting there obsessing over somebody, staying in an environment where they are obsessing over that person is not healthy for you. And I've noticed that even on YouTube. Um, I wanted to say that because I wanted to make myself clear. If I had a beef with you in the past, then I did what I had to do. I returned to you what belonged to you, the negative energy that belonged to you. I took my energy back and then I protected and veiled and guarded myself and shielded myself. That's all I did. Okay. I personally do not and did not build my company off of that mess. I didn't build this channel off of that mess. I didn't. I built my channel by doing readings. In fact, there would be no way that I would want to create an obsessive environment for a person unless I had a love interest with them. Then I would want that person to obsess over me. But otherwise, if we were friends or we were associates, I would have no reason. And intellectually, I already know not to do that because it would just create obstacles for myself. I'm not the type of person that likes to create obstacles, especially when it comes to my business, because I have little ones that are looking out for me and I have a specific vision of my future for my family. Okay. And I have no reason to create any obsessions within anybody else because you know what? I don't need to do that because I'm not afraid of what you can do. I'm not scared that you can stop me. I don't believe that you can curse me. I don't believe that you can hurt me. Okay. I do, however, believe that I have a huge responsibility to protect my children. So that is my focus. My focus is doing readings, spreading as much spiritual knowledge as possible. Uh, I've been creating a lot of oils in my cauldron lately and focusing on work, doing projects related to work and career to go towards the goals that I have in life. I have no reason to orchestrate a beef with anybody. Now, if I have a beef with you, then I'm going to bring it to you. But more than likely, if I bring something to you, it is to end the beef you more than likely started the war and I'm finishing it. I personally and professionally would have no need or codependency that would force me to create a beef or an obsession within anybody on YouTube. So I want to make that clear because all that does is create obstacles. Obstacles that if you were a person that was actually relevant to my life, I would just talk to you behind the scenes. I would talk to you in real life about it. If we're not able to speak in real life about it, then you're irrelevant to me and I should be irrelevant to you. Here's another thing that obsessive compulsive people believe. They believe that another person is always thinking or talking about them. I'm not. Now, there have been times where I have gotten drawn into some stuff, but I quickly pull myself out of that because I know that it does not serve my purpose at all. And I'm going to make this perfectly clear to people because I notice that when people decide that they want to get views on their channel, they put Jamila's name in their title. Okay. And I am not giving any of my energy towards that at all. Even if I discuss it or I address it, doesn't mean that I'm giving my energy towards it because I never agreed with it. You know, there are millions of channels on here, thousands and millions of channels on YouTube that get hundreds of thousands of views. And the way that they have done that is that they didn't get themselves blacklisted by doing beef videos to people. Okay. Now, this has already happened to me, but that's okay because my business has expanded outside of YouTube. YouTube is not the only website. So, and I make it do what it do. Okay. So I'm not worried about that. But the whole point of it is that there's a lot of people that want to be big YouTubers. They'll never be a big YouTuber because they're constantly obsessing over these beefs that really don't exist. It's time to move on with your life. And if you are hanging around with people that constantly force you to obsess over people that are relevant to your life, then those people are probably not your friends. In fact, those people are probably using that person. They're probably just as obsessive as you are, and they're using that person to destroy you. That would be my advice. On any given day, when I wake up in the morning, I am not thinking about anybody that I've beefed with on YouTube. Okay. I'm just not. But and I've been working on subconscious mind flushing. I don't keep that stuff on my mind and my heart. I don't. I like to enjoy life. If you are obsessive compulsive, that's okay. You can get spiritual help, but to go and be doing curses and stuff like that, you need to stay away from that. Because I'm gonna tell you something, if you're a person that is obsessive compulsive and you try to put a curse on somebody, like you just gonna curse them, like I'm gonna make a power move and shit like that, because a lot of people think that cursing people is a power move. Then you yourself are gonna drive yourself crazy because you're gonna obsess about it. That's how you end up getting a self-initiated karma. The further and the further that you remove yourself from that chaos, the better. I can help people with that, but there's a specific thing that I do. I actually just created an oil for that too. So if you have that issue and you know you have that issue, you are more than welcome to contact me. But some people are not getting help. You're not getting the proper help when you find a group of people that that will just go and instead of telling you, hey, you're kind of obsessively talking about this person is really not thinking about you. You're constantly in chat rooms talking about this person. What is the what's up? Okay, these people may even be cloaking themselves as your friends, but they will ultimately lead to destruction in your life. So I'm just saying, I don't want my thoughts and my subconscious crowded with a lot of that stuff. So this is the reason why, as we go closer to the new moon, because we do have a new moon coming up, and actually Mercury is not going into retrograde until May, I think probably mid-May. This is a time to work on yourself. If you latched on to somebody else and you have OCD or obsessives, compulsive disorder, or you have obsessions or paranoia, it is important for you to work on self, period. You latched onto that person so that you could codependently blame them for your problems. That's it. That's why you did that. Okay, so I'm just letting people know right now that that's what the new moon is going to be all about, ending those negative cycles with people that are irrelevant. If it's somebody that's relevant, you shouldn't be beefing with them. You should be able to speak to them or talk to them. But people handle stuff, I guess, the way that they want. As far as I am concerned, if you're not relevant, or if I have made you irrelevant, because I'm sorry, some of these energy vampires and energy harvesters and OCD people, they obsess and they connect themselves and they're trying to get free brain matter and free this and free that. And I've cut the cord to you and I've cut you off, then that means that you got to go and do what you got to do. Because at the end of the day, you can go in through the back door, the front door, the side door. You can even try to come in through the window. At the end of the day, when a person refuses to allow you to take their energy, they're not. And I actually just created a Bombay oil for that too, because a lot of people are doing that because they're confused. What it'll do is it'll leave the person that you're targeting drained. It will. That person will be drained of their energy. And that's not fair, is it? And let's keep it a buck. There's a lot of people that have a lot of criticism for people, especially when it comes to children, or either even animals, or even the earth. Okay, leave people alone so that we can take care of the earth, so that we can take care of our children, so that we can take care of our animals. If you want to do right by Mother Earth, work on yourself. Stop codependently attaching to people or using people for attention for your channels. Now, if it's something relevant, but there's a lot of people that will form these connections with people on YouTube and they'll lie, they'll scheme, they'll do anything to do it. Now, here's another last thought process that I want to give you guys about energy harvesting. I know that and I'm not trying to be conceited, but I have delicious energy. My energy is delicious. I've been told that so many times my whole life, I have been, okay? And I've had to walk away from people because they have misused me. So I know my energy tastes good. My name tastes good in people's mouths. They will go through changes, troll me, stalk me, call my phone because they want me to call their name out. But let me tell you what the issue is with this. Because some people are doing it to intentionally vampire off of people. Eventually, those things are going to lead to your mental conditions getting worse. And I think even other problems. When you codependently attach yourself to anything, or if you are intentionally pulling on someone else's energy all the time, this is going to ultimately lead to identity issues and all sorts of worse mental debilitating issues, because at the end of the day, you are not that person. You are you. You are you. And God is going to make sure of that. That's why I'm a spiritualist. I'm a witch, but I believe in God. Can't nobody take that away from me. So at the end of the day, when you are doing this vampire magic, because guys, I've seen their rituals, I've seen dolls and, people intentionally pulling on people because they want their gifts, they want their whatever, they want their enchantments that they were born with. This is going to end up, you're going to end up sick, and I'm not trying to put, because this is exactly what has happened with people that do things like that. Once you start doing that, vampirism leads to an insatiable appetite that you can't ever satisfy, and that is a problem. That means that I don't care if you have a 10-bedroom mansion with a moat around it, horses, dogs, you are going to be a person that is never satisfied. And satisfaction is everything. There's this painting game that I play, and I'm going to upload a couple of the animations from it because they've got a couple of Zodiac ones, or maybe just ones that have inspired me that I've done. It gives me satisfaction to play that game. If I were vampiring off of people, like literally trying to suck people's energy out of them, I would eventually become a person that cannot be satisfied ever. And that's never good, because you know what that leads to? That leads to a lack of inner peace. And then it also disconnects you from self. Everything that is me, the good and the bad and even the ugly, I embrace it. I either embrace it or I transmute it. So if you truly love yourself, then you're going to take self and you're going to go, I'm going to grow. When you're vampiring off of other people, all that does is lead to sickness. Okay? Now, getting inspiration from somebody and saying, oh my God, you inspired me. Thank you. There's a difference. Because a vampire is going to take without any appreciation. This is going to lead you even further into the void. And I don't like the void. I don't like voids, and I don't like the void. I actually like living. I like seeing the sun and the moon and the stars. And, I love life. The further and further you go into that, the worse it gets. So I actually teach classes, and I would never teach that because, and I'm going to tell you something, I work with Lilith. Lilith is the mother of the vampires. She doesn't believe in that. You're a human, not a vampire. Even if you're a hybrid, you're a human being. You are a human being. You shouldn't be doing that. That's not what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to grow and blossom like a flower. And you know what? When I first started my YouTube channel, it's, 10, 11 years ago, I started on YouTube. You know what I did? I did hair videos. I did makeup videos. Nobody's name was ever in my title unless it was a brand or maybe even a celebrity. Maybe I was doing a celebrity look. Otherwise, sitting there trying to get views by putting somebody's name in the title, what is that going to lead to? That's going to lead the type of people to your channel that you may not be trying to attract, which is going to limit and hold you back depending on where you're trying to go with this. I personally am a business owner. I run a witchy business that is very personable. I spend a lot of time with my clients, juggling clients every single day. I want to be taken seriously. A lot of the things that I talk about are revolutionary when it comes to spirituality. I don't want first of all, life is not a joke, and what goes on in life is not a joke. But at the end of the day, when you can laugh and be happy, we don't laugh at anybody's misfortune, but we just laugh and be happy and gay. That's good. But other than that, that other stuff, not cool with it. And if I've called people out, it is probably because I had a spiritual message for that person, but I'm getting away from that. I know there's a lot of people that love the beef because it creates all of this energy. It creates this chaos, and there's other ways of conjuring energy and views on your channel. So I'd rather have a less amount of views and attract the type of people that I'm looking for than to attract a bunch of people that are just looking to look at a fight. Does that make sense, y'all? I'm here to attract clients. I'm not here to attract a crowd of people. And even if I were getting donations for that, I still wouldn't want to do that for a living. This is what I'm working on. This is what it is. Nobody can change that. It's far too toxic. I mean, when you think about it, primordial chaos was created billions of years ago. Maybe there's a purpose for all of the chaos. That's not my purpose or my path. Because I personally feel as though there's a difference between chaos and toxic energy. Chaos can be if you are debating about a subject. If somebody opposes your view, you're creating chaos. Okay, which is nothing wrong with that. However, it depends on whether or not it's up for debate, whether or not, I mean, it depends on the situation. However, a lot of the things that have been happening on here, people trying to kill people, people threatening to kill people. I done had to threaten to knock a couple of heads off my damn self. I'm gonna tell y'all something. I'm extremely overprotective of my children. So when knowing that you're irrelevant, you cannot touch my children, even if you wanted to. I'd rather just walk away. Okay. That's my message for today. If you have OCD or obsessiveness or you're paranoid, first of all, you need to quit smoking marijuana because that can make it worse until you get yourself together. Take a tolerance break. Okay. Clear your head. If you are just somebody that's OCD, go ahead and get some professional help. Talk to somebody about it and then seek out a spiritualist and let that spiritualist know, hey, I have OCD. I'm kind of obsessive. That way we can know what work that needs to be done on you. Okay, spiritually, because you can be helped spiritually. I always tell people to get the professional help. Doesn't always mean medication, because I've managed anxiety as well as PTSD without any meds besides allergy medicine, which coincidentally helps with anxiety. Uh, anyway, yeah, that's what I wanted to say today. I hope that you guys have a good weekend. That's all I have time for. I literally have to get to a reading. Peace and love to everybody. I hope that this advice was taken and not the wrong way. Okay. I'm taking some time to work on myself because I'm very empathic and I absorb people's negative energy very quickly and easily. And I don't like that. That's something that I don't like about myself. And then I'm also very, very telepathic. And, I don't, I'd rather have my telepathy count towards something that is relevant and means something to me. Okay. So help out Mother Earth. Seriously. Focusing on something, a beef with somebody from 2 years ago. The person wakes up in the morning, they're not thinking about you. They're not a person. I can only speak for myself. Let me speak for myself. Even if I had a beef with you 2 days ago, if it's the next day, I done forgot all about it, and I'm focusing on my family, my house, people that are relevant to me. I'm not going to focus on you the next day or the next day or the next day. Okay, unless I feel that you have somehow been able to send me some bad energy. Then I may address you publicly. I may address you publicly, but we're getting ready to stop all of that. The focus has to shift on things that are important, because at the end of the day, life is passing us all by. And I'll be damned if I'm going to sit around and waste my life or my time in my life and look up in a couple of years having accomplished none of my goals. I'm not going to let that happen, and you shouldn't either. Okay. All right, guys. I'll see y'all later. Have a lovely Saturday. Blessings.